begin the 1 minute sermon edition. Last week we had a lot of news that was disheartening. An African American boy was shot on a man's porch in Kansas City. Went to the wrong address. 115, I think he was looking for 115 Terrace, and he went to 115 Street and was shot. Fortunately, he's been released from the hospital. A girl named Caitlin was in rural New York State looking for a house. She was a passenger in a car, and the driver went by the driveway she needed to turn in, so she was turning around in the next driveway to go back, and when they pulled in, a man shot the passenger, Caitlin, with a 12 gauge shotgun, and she died for turning around in his driveway. And then there were two girls who were coming back to their car after being at cheerleading camp, so they're teenagers, and they had parked their car in a grocery store parking lot, and they get out from the person who had given them a ride and were walking over to their car, and they accidentally, mistakenly, go to a car that looks like their car. It has the same model, same make, but it's not their car. And when they open the door, the girl, I think her name was Holly, immediately realizes her mistake, and she begins to apologize for her mistake. And a guy pulls out a gun and shoots her and her friend. And I think her friend is in the hospital. Now, the concern I have here is, where did we get the idea that we needed to be so suspicious of our neighbors? When did we create a world where you couldn't make an accident, or you couldn't do something that was even minusculely wrong, like pulling into the wrong driveway, and someone would not violently react to that? Where did we go wrong that we created this world that is so fearful, so paranoid? Now, you could say, well, we didn't really create it in the last 20 years. It's been here a long time. Maybe it has. Maybe it has. I disagree with that, but I could see how someone could argue that. To me, it's gotten worse in my lifetime. I remember the things I did as a kid, and I can't think of, I walked through people's yard to get to another kid's yard to play football. Oftentimes we played football in this big, we called it a yard, but it was probably the Madison's backyard, plus their neighbor's backyard, plus their neighbor's backyard, that made it such a big field because there was no fence in it. People could never do that today. Why have we become so paranoid and afraid of other people? I think that's a question worth wrestling. But now, you could say, well, maybe it's the way people are raised, maybe it's the news they watch, maybe it's the schools they go to. Here's one thing I pray it's not. I pray it's not the church they attend. I pray that it's not the church that they attend, that the church is not teaching hate or fear. I pray that. Because we have a story, we have a whole book, actually, about how our neighbor is to be welcomed in love, and how the stranger is to be welcomed in love, and how that we turn people from stranger into friend with love, and that our reaction to them should be love. Now, the sermon yesterday just leaned into the idea that Christianity is a lifestyle of love. That's what it is. It's not a set of beliefs or propositions. It is a determination to walk towards people in love. Let's do that in our lives. Let's do that in our neighborhoods. Let's do that with our friends. Let's do that with the strangers that we meet. And maybe we can reverse this trend of everybody being paranoid and fearful of their neighbor.